Here is something most cybersecurity courses will not tell you. You can watch hundreds of hours of videos, you can read articles, you can take certification exams, and still, the moment something actually goes wrong on your computer or your account, you freeze. You have no idea what just happened or what to do next. That is not your fault. The way most people learn cybersecurity is completely backwards. They absorb information, but they never actually experience it. Today I want to change that. I am going to share 8 practical projects that anyone, beginners, students, workers, small business owners, can explore to genuinely understand how digital threats work, and more importantly, how to protect yourself against them. These are not hacking tutorials. These are not illegal. These are awareness-building, defense-focused activities based entirely on legal, publicly available information. And by the end of this video, you will look at your phone, your laptop, and your home network very differently. Welcome to Cyber Safety Brief, where we break down cybersecurity into simple, honest, practical advice for everyday Americans. Whether you are a student, a parent, a small business owner, or someone who just wants to stay safer online, this channel is for you. Before we get into it, everything in this video is based on authentic, legal, and publicly available cybersecurity knowledge. This is entirely for educational awareness and protection purposes. Nothing here promotes illegal activity, unauthorized access, or harmful behavior of any kind. Project 1. Explore how weak passwords actually get cracked. Let me start with something that surprised me when I first learned it. Most people think hackers sit at a keyboard and manually guess your password. That is not how it works at all. In my opinion, this is one of the biggest misunderstandings in everyday cybersecurity, and it leads people to think they are safer than they actually are. Here is the reality. When a website gets breached and passwords leak, those passwords are usually stored as something called a hash get, a scrambled version of your original password. What attackers do is run massive lists of common words and phrases through the same scrambling process and compare results. It is automated, it is fast, and weak passwords fall in seconds. Now, you can actually explore this concept yourself in a completely safe legal way. Many cybersecurity learning platforms like TryHackMe or free tools designed specifically for ethical education let you practice understanding password hashing in a controlled lab environment. You are not cracking anyone else's password. You are learning how the process works, so you know why password strength matters. The defensive takeaway here is real and practical. A password like Welcome 2024 feels strong to a human, but to an automated system running through millions of combinations, it disappears almost instantly. A random passphrase, 4 or 5 unrelated words strung together, is genuinely harder to crack and easier for you to remember. What I personally think is that most Americans underestimate how fast their simple passwords can fall, not because they are careless, but because nobody ever showed them this from the attacker's perspective. Project 2. Set up your own safe home lab and see what your network is saying. This one is my favorite because it feels like turning on a light in a dark room. Your home network is constantly sending and receiving information. Every device connected to your Wi-Fi, your phone, your smart TV, your thermostat is generating traffic. Most people have no idea what that traffic looks like or whether something unusual is happening. Here is a project you can do legally on your own network with your own devices only. A free tool called Wireshark lets you capture and observe network traffic on your own connection. This is completely legal when used on networks you own or have permission to monitor. It is used by IT professionals, students, and security researchers every single day. When I first ran this on my own network, I was genuinely surprised by how much data was flowing in and out, and from how many different apps and services running in the background. The way I look at it, if you can see your own network traffic, you start to understand what normal looks like. And once you know what normal looks like, you can notice when something does not look right. The defensive step here is awareness. Use Wireshark on your home network. Look at what your devices are actually talking to. You might be surprised by what you find. Let me know in the comments if you have ever tried monitoring your own home network. I would genuinely like to know what you discovered. Project 3. Learn to recognize a phishing email by building a fake one for yourself. Wait, before you close this video, hear me out. I am not telling you to send a fake phishing email to anyone, ever. That would be illegal and harmful. What I am suggesting is something very different. There are platforms designed specifically to help individuals and small businesses test their own email awareness. Tools like GoFish, which is open source and legal, are actually used by corporate security teams to run internal phishing simulations with employees who have given consent. As an individual, the valuable exercise here is simply building a fake phishing email template and looking at it yourself. Ask yourself, what makes it convincing? What small details does it get wrong? What is the sender address actually showing versus what it claims to show? What most people underestimate is how professionally designed modern phishing emails look. They are not full of spelling errors anymore. They replicate real logos, real language, real urgency. The only giveaway is often something tiny, a mismatched domain name, or an unusual link destination. In my opinion, the best way to protect yourself from phishing is to understand how it is constructed. Not to use it, but to recognize it the moment it lands in your inbox. The defensive step is simple. Before you click any link in any email, hover over it. Look at where it actually goes. If the visible text says your bank's name, but the actual link shows something completely different, that is your warning sign. Project 4. Run a vulnerability scan on your own devices. Here is a question. When was the last time you checked whether your own devices have known security weaknesses? Most people never do this, and yet it is one of the most practical things you can do to protect yourself. There are free legal tools built specifically for this purpose. One example is OpenVS, an open-source vulnerability scanner that security professionals use to assess systems. For home users, even simpler options exist. Many antivirus programs and network security tools now include basic vulnerability assessments that check for outdated software, misconfigured settings, or unpatched systems. This project teaches you something important, that most security breaches do not happen because of some genius attack. They happen because someone left a window open that had a known fix available. What I personally think is that most Americans are not attacked by sophisticated hackers targeting them specifically. They are affected because they had a known vulnerability that an automated scanner found. Being patched and updated closes most of those doors automatically. The defensive step here: run a legitimate vulnerability scan on your own device using a trusted security tool. Update anything that comes back flagged. It is genuinely that straightforward. Project 5. Understand encryption by sending yourself a secure message. When people hear the word encryption, their eyes glaze over. I get it. It sounds like something only engineers care about. But here is the thing. Encryption is what stands between your private messages and anyone who might be watching the connection. A practical project here is exploring how end-to-end encryption actually works by using tools designed for it. Signal, for example, is a free messaging app that uses strong encryption and is trusted by security professionals worldwide. ProtonMail does the same for email. What I find fascinating, and what most people do not realize, is that regular email is not encrypted by default. When you send a standard email, it passes through multiple servers and can, in certain circumstances, be intercepted or accessed. Encrypted messaging removes that exposure. The way I look at it, understanding encryption is not about being paranoid. It is about choosing tools that protect your communication the same way a sealed envelope protects a letter compared to a postcard that anyone handling it can read. The project here: send yourself an encrypted message using a tool like Signal or ProtonMail. Look at how the process works. Then compare it to your regular messaging app. That comparison alone teaches you more about digital privacy than most articles ever will. Project 6. Build a simple incident response checklist for your own life. This one might sound less technical, but in my opinion, it is the most practically valuable project on this entire list. Here is a situation most people have faced. Something goes wrong. An account gets hacked. A suspicious charge appears. A device starts acting strange. And because there is no plan, people panic and make decisions that sometimes make things worse. What security professionals do in these situations is follow a structured response process. They do not guess, they do not panic, they work through a checklist. Your project here is to build your own personal incident response checklist. What do you do first if your email is compromised? Who do you call if your bank account shows suspicious activity? Which accounts are connected to your email and need to be secured immediately? I have done this personally, and it took me less than an hour. But having that document somewhere accessible means that in a stressful moment, when your thinking is clouded, you have a clear set of steps to follow. What most people underestimate is how much calmer you feel knowing you have a plan. Cybersecurity is not just about preventing attacks, it is about knowing what to do when prevention was not enough. I would also like to know your opinion in the comments. Do you have any kind of plan for what you would do if one of your accounts was hacked? I am genuinely curious how many people have thought this through. Project 7. Try a legal capture the flag challenge. This one is specifically for people who want to go a little deeper, students, career changers, or anyone curious about how cybersecurity professionals actually think. Capture the Flag, or CTF, competitions are legal. Structured cybersecurity challenges used by universities, companies, and government agencies to train security professionals. Platforms like Pico CTF, which was created by Carnegie Mellon University, offer completely free beginner-level challenges designed specifically for students and beginners. These challenges walk you through real concepts, how certain types of vulnerabilities work, how hidden information can be found, how systems communicate, all in a completely controlled, legal, and safe environment. What I personally think about CTF challenges is that they do something no textbook can fully replicate. They give you the experience of solving a real problem under real conditions. And that experience builds a kind of intuition about digital systems that is genuinely hard to develop any other way. The defensive value here is perspective. When you understand, even at a basic level, how security challenges are designed and solved, you start to see your own digital life through a different lens. You notice things you never noticed before. Project 8. Review a real public security breach report. This last one is something almost no one talks about, and it might be the most underrated project on this list. After major data breaches, many companies are legally required to publish official reports explaining what happened, what was accessed, and what they are doing to fix it. These reports are publicly available, they are written for regulators and the public, and they are extraordinarily educational. Look up the official breach notification for any major incident. The FTC website, state attorney general websites, and company investor relations pages often publish these. Read through what actually happened. What was the entry point? What data was exposed? What could have prevented it? The way I look at it, these reports are the closest thing we have to a real-world case study in cybersecurity, and they are free, legal, and written by the actual people who investigated the incident. What you will consistently find, and this is what I find most eye-opening, is that most major breaches did not involve some impossibly complex attack. They involved something missed, a setting not configured, a credential reused, an email clicked, a patch not applied. That is both sobering and genuinely encouraging, because most of those things are within your control. We are past the halfway point, and I want to pause for a second. Which of these projects have you already done, or which one are you most curious about trying first? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one, and I genuinely want to know where you are in your cybersecurity journey. If this video is helping you see cybersecurity in a more practical, less overwhelming way, I would really appreciate a like on the video. It helps more people find this content. And if you want to keep learning in plain, honest language, subscribe to Cyber Safety Brief. We put out new videos regularly, and we keep everything simple, legal, and actually useful. Here is what I want you to take away from today. Cybersecurity is not a subject you learn by memorizing. It is a subject you learn by doing, safely, legally, and with the right intention. Every single project I mentioned today can be done without spending a lot of money, without a technical degree, and without crossing any legal or ethical line. The goal is not to become a hacker. The goal is to understand the world you are living in well enough to protect yourself and the people you care about. Stay alert, stay informed, and stay safe online. Before you go, comment below and tell me which of these 8 projects you think the average American would benefit from most. I genuinely believe it is number 6, the incident response checklist, because it helps you when it matters most. But I want to hear what you think.